You did.
Welcome back to the Gardening Channel with Hot Potato. Today we're gonna show you guys some free cutting giveaways. That's right, we're announcing the custard cloud and grape escape. Two cuttings to give away tonight, and I'm just gonna have a live stream. I'll try to put on some music so you can enjoy it. And we have these time-lapse videos going on right now. So we're keeping an eye on the dragon fruit, and we'll also talk about pollen. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday night. And today we have the winners of the previous videos where we did grafting dragon fruit with grape escape and custard cloud. If you want to know how I got these varieties, I got them from the private mentoring group with Richard Lee from Grafting Dragon Fruit. So I highly recommend if you're interested in getting rare varieties of dragon fruit, then go ahead and join that channel. And then I don't have any ripe dragon fruit yet, so we got our first ripe dragon fruit right here. I thought this was pretty cool. It's from Amazon, and it did come like kind of dented and stuff, so it's not the best thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I learned about this first when we were in the Philippines, and it's just a plastic. It's like a foam dragon fruit, fake dragon fruit. So I hope you guys like tonight. We're just gonna hang out, and I'll announce the winners later tonight. So enjoy the night. I did want to shout out to all those solid subscribers tonight. And thank you so much for watching the gardening channel here with Hot Potato. It's been a fun journey, and continue to be giving away free dragon fruit. What I really like to do is watch the dragon fruit ripen at peak summertime. That's when you're going to get the biggest, the best, the baddest dragon fruit out there. I did also want to mention that we are giving away the custard cloud and grape escape tonight. So if you haven't watched those videos, go over to the channel, click on the video and comment on them, because if you put your name or you put your a comment down in there, then that will be a free entry for tonight's giveaway. I'm still leaving it open for tonight, and we'll announce it in a little bit. This stream is going to be maybe 2 hours because we're going to watch the dragon fruit get pollinated. We're going to have a fantastic night. I'm super excited. This is our first bloom tonight, and we got the camera set up for the time lapse. We did have a Sunta 6 that is about to bloom tomorrow night, and we'll have a recording of that as well. I also want to shout out to all those people on the Facebook group, and all your friendly comments and insightful information. You guys have been growing dragon fruit. You're all experts by now. So I really appreciate all the shout outs that you guys are giving to me and to other people too, and give them praise for all the hard work they've been putting themselves. This dragon fruit season is going to be epic. Super excited for this one. Let's go. I am going to try to enter the chat here. So I am going to try to enter the chat so we can talk and stuff like that too. I just got to get situated here. I'm basically using all my cameras. I got a few cameras in the house, and we got a few cameras on the dragon fruit tonight too. Hey, what's up? Hey, good evening, everybody. Nice flower. Thank you so much. Yeah, the dragon fruit flowers are looking great right now. These are the epic Paul Thompson varieties. And Eddie, I did see your tiger panache fig image, and or maybe it was a video, but it was super cool to see that. I have to admit that I am having problems with my tiger panache figs, and because we're here in Westminster, Orange County, growing in Zone 10B, there's so many fruit trees around here that we have a big problem with our figs. And that problem is that we have the fly that is attacking them. So I had to bag all the figs. I bagged them a little bit late this year. So I'm hoping to get some ripe figs. And if not, I'll visit my dad, and we have 30 different varieties of figs on that tree. So we're going to have a nice taste test later in the year for all these different types of figs that we grafted on there a couple years ago. 12 p.m. Gotta love the nighttime. Yeah, Andrew, for sure. I'm a night owl. I work at night 3 days a week. So to me, this is like, this is like lunchtime for me almost, or mid morning. I'm definitely a night person lately. I do love working day shifts, but right now I'm working night shifts. So it's very easy for me to come out here and look at the dragons. And I've been going out here all day today, hanging out in the garden. And I just had a beautiful day. I hope you guys, Dragon Fruits is doing well. Let's see if I can hear my voice. Woo! Yeah. Let's see if I can hear my voice. Woo! Yeah. All right, all right, all right. So they did have some dragon fruit events today in San Diego, and I don't know if anybody was able to make it down there in San Diego. I know it's such a long drive for many people who are up in the Ventura area, and it is difficult for them to drive all the way down. However, there are transportation options that you can just hang out on the train and take the train down to San Diego. And then it's so easy to take an Uber over to the San Diego Fair. You don't have to pay for parking. And that's a fantastic way to go enjoy the San Diego Fair. I know that several farms were there, including Ox Dragon Fruit Farm. Wilford was there. The Dragon Plug was there. And then Nina was there as well from Wallace Ranch. And actually, shout out to Nina, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have these flowers right here. I purchased all these dragon fruits from Wallace Ranch, and I've been there several times, and it's a beautiful ranch. It is probably the most beautiful dragon fruit farm in all of California, to be honest. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. If you are not here on the live stream when I announce the winners, don't worry, I will ship it to you. So if it's late or whatnot, and you guys just want to pop in, go get something to eat, or leave it in the background on the live stream, just leave the background, leave the live stream in the background is what I'm trying to say. Then no worries too. So don't worry about that. I'll announce the winners. Oh yeah, I also want to shout out to a really cool method that I saw Richard do, setting up his dragon fruit for time lapse videos. And I thought that was really cool that he set it up super simple. And I think that's a great way to start. when you first start recording your dragon fruit blossoms and your blooms, I highly encourage you guys to also like try to do your time lapse videos because it's incredibly satisfying. It can be frustrating with trying to set up everything and all the cords and wires, and then the battery runs out because your charger's not the right charger. So there's a lot of little details that goes into time lapse videos. It doesn't have to be super complex. It can be really simple, but you do want to make sure. I've made a lot of mistakes where I've recorded the videos and then I came back and my phone's off. I'm like, what happened? The sun basically baked my phone and melted it to the point where it was like too hot. So I had to turn off. Hey, Chef John. Hey, Chef John, check this out. I was looking at this image and video about a culinary chef. I don't remember where it was, but they took dragon fruit and they made a granada. And if you don't know what a granada is, it's like shaved ice, but there's a special way to make it. You pop the shaved ice, it's like liquid at first, and you repeatedly go from the freezer and you scrape it with a fork. So basically, you make this dragon fruit syrup and then you can get this shaved ice texture, and it's actually even better than shaved ice. And what they did with that was they put it on oysters, which I thought was really cool. I'm just curious if anybody has made any foods with dragon fruit. I tend to steer away from it because it's quite intimidating, to be honest. I know Richard's done like the bread, and I've seen people put dragon fruit products out there, like energy drinks and other types of products too. And I've tried to explore them this year a little bit more to see what the companies are doing, like Celsius making that dragon fruit lime drink, which I've had several times, and it's pretty decent. But there are really good drinks out there. One particular one, I forget the name, but I will share it with you guys in a future video. It's basically like coconut water and dragon fruit, and it actually has little seeds in it as well. It's pretty darn clever. Yeah, I really love that drink. Yeah, of course, the best way to eat dragon fruit is fresh. And that tends to be a problem too, because dragon fruit does not have a really long shelf life. And that's one reason why a lot of people need to grow it in their backyards. Because when they're shipping it from, Asia or wherever they're growing it, it tends to lose a lot of flavor. It's kind of funny. Every once in a while for these live streams, I'm like, I want to hear my voice and see what I sound like. So I'm testing myself out too. So like I have my phone here and I can see the live chat and I'm listening to it. So if you hear me pausing every once in a while, that's why. So shout out to Eddie and Andrew and Chef. Thanks for visiting the live stream. Yes, I'm in. Yep, yep. What's up? Sup, sup? Yeah, dragon fruit, sup, sup. I hope you guys are having a blessed night and you're tucked away at home with your family and friends. It's really been a beautiful year, 2026. Here in the West Coast, we've gotten a lot of like pretty mild climate. And we had that one heat wave that's caused a whole bunch of flowers to bloom really early in the season. And I wanted to caution against something like that because, yeah, you can get those flowers to bloom early and you'll set fruit early, but oftentimes what I've noticed is the fruit tends to be smaller in the beginning of the year. Now, individual results may vary. Like for example, if you're growing in Anaheim, the temperatures might be a little bit higher. However, I'm close to like a water source and the elevation is quite low. So my season tends to trail some of those dragon fruit growers in Santa Ana and Anaheim, where it's more inland. And then we also get a nice coastal breeze. Our house is surrounded by humongous eucalyptus. Sorry, not eucalyptus. That's my favorite tree. Italian cypress trees. So it acts like a funnel, and wind just like blows right by. And actually, it helps with the dragon fruits because it allows me to pollinate the, or allows me to fertilize the dragon fruits with a foliar spray. And then that foliar spray will dry out and it won't cause too much problems with having moisture on your dragon fruits for too long. I did learn from Laguna Hills Nursery, Gary, that if water sits for too long, you can start to develop those fungal issues. And we're kind of blessed that we got the wind, but it's also a curse at the same time because our star fruit tree doesn't like it and our mango tree doesn't like it as well. And I've definitely done some unique things to protect my plants from the wind. And I just ordered this like 300-foot roll of shade cloth, if you will. It's not the 30% shade cloth like you see. Right now, I have all my plants covered, the dragon fruit trellises covered in that 30% shade cloth to allow the time lapse videos to look even better. So that's kind of like one tip that I'd like to share with you is that if you're trying to do time lapse videos and sometimes the flowers are opening up a little bit early, so what you can do is actually use shade cloth to protect it from the sun, and then you won't get too much overexposure. So yeah, I got my mango trees are going to be covered. I got the mulberry tree is going to be covered. That thing really doesn't like to have wind on it, and it doesn't like to dry out either. It does get quite hot here in Zone 10B, and it's been mild climate, like I've said. And what I think is going to happen is probably our season is going to be extremely long here in Southern California, and I think that's what Wallace Ranch um, Dragon Fruit Farm was kind of hinting to, is that the early season leads to this hot spell in Southern California. And oftentimes that happens in the spring or even early spring sometimes. Like in January, we get this huge burst of heat. And I don't know what, I'm not a meteorologist. I mean, like, I don't study the weather and stuff, but meteorologist, but there must be something coming from the sun that, hits that heat wave and then it cools down. And then we get this really mild climate up into like July sometime or August mainly, but it doesn't really start heating up until, August. And then we get July and September and October. And I bet December could potentially have a really warm climate, which would extend the season. I shade cloth my plants in preparation, but I don't know if I'll need them in here in zone 7. Simon, remind me where you're growing dragon fruit. It's it's hard to keep track of everybody, to be honest. Um, but I do know a lot of people are growing in different zones. Like they're really pushing the limits. So, oh, Tennessee, yeah. So Tennessee gets uh, some more rain, and their summers can be quite harsh, right? You have more moisture. It tends to be a little bit more humid. I have family in Tennessee, actually. Tennessee, Kentucky, Chicago, Indianapolis. I spent a little bit of time in the Midwest. I think the two main climates that really benefit from dragon fruit would obviously be Southern California and more so San Diego. And what I've noticed is that because Ventura is quite cool, it doesn't really get that extreme heat weather that dragon fruit like absolutely loves. So when you're ordering dragon fruit, you might get different taste results depending on where in Southern California the dragon fruit is growing. For example, where I work up in Santa Barbara, they get June gloom all the time. The mountain is so close to the coast that the clouds have nowhere to go from the ocean breeze. It even like spills over into Santa Ynez, and they're growing. That's where they grow all the wine grapes and stuff like that. And it's quite amazing climate over there, but it tends to be cooler, and that's not good for dragon fruit. It's good for dragon fruit plants. Like if you want to get cuttings and stuff up there, it does quite well up there. So Ventura, Santa Barbara, um, that's a humongous agricultural industry up there. And so there is hot weather during the summer, but it's nothing like Oceanside Dragon Fruit Farm. For example, Oceanside Dragon Fruit Farm really has this unique microclimate that I think really spells into what dragon fruit wants. It wants that cool, moist air in the early mornings when it's utilizing that CAM photosynthesis so the plants can absorb the moisture. And then after early morning, the coastal breeze and all of that heat dissipates all the moisture in the air, and then it becomes hot. And you guys probably watched rare dragon fruits talk about how dragon fruit likes to go from the wet to dry cycles. And I don't think it's just the pots. I think the pots really, dragon fruit really likes to have moist soil at all times. But the plant material definitely aids in those benefits from the climate in Oceanside. And then you also have like, Paul Thompson, he basically went through and tried to grow all different types of crops. And so he didn't really start with dragon fruit. He started with like mangoes and mamey and, products and different tropical fruits in Mexico. And then it wasn't until later that he started really honing in on the dragon fruit. Oh, there's a possum right there. Look at that guy. What's up, boy? Hey, you want to say hi? No? Okay. See you later. All right. I did want to talk a little bit about gardening in general. And man, I wish I was sitting over there and talking to you guys. I'm a little bit nervous to go over there and talk live. I did want to talk about gardening in general and the passion of gardening and why rationale thinking is not easy in this type of um, hobby. Because first of all, we're putting all that effort into growing our plants. So we take great pride in growing dragon fruit, right? But then everybody's doing something differently. There's no right answer to grow dragon fruit. So I just wanted to put out the suggestion of positivity and encouraging people to be their own gardener. A gardener is somebody who is tending to their plants, really honing in and being that observer. And it's that observation that is so beautiful about being a gardener is that you get to touch the plant and utilize all your senses as well. No, it's not a rat. I'm sure it might have been a rat if it was in New York. It's kind of interesting. I can really identify the time delay as I'm watching the live stream on our phone here. Anyways, going back to being a gardener, I think it's an amazing thing for humans to get in touch with nature, especially with the American lifestyle. We tend to be go, 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 and we're often reacting to things a lot. Versus when you're out there in the garden, you're like, oh, what is this? You notice that there's a bud on the plant, or you notice that the flower is blooming, and you're like, whoa, what a surprise. All my dragon fruits are blooming tonight. This looks so cool. I'm so stoked to be able to come out here and smell the flowers and touch the flowers and the petals. And then my eyes get to see the flowers, all the different colors. And it's so rewarding. You know, to make your life meaningful is to not only come out here and experience those things, but to be, fellow gardeners and support each other. So I think that's like something really cool to have to hone in on, is not to just be a keyboard warrior in a sense, but like really try to think about other people's perspectives and have that holistic understanding of what gardening is really about. So I don't know, that's my spiel. And tonight we are talking about dragon fruit. We're going to pollinate the dragon fruit. We're going to give away custard cloud, and we're also going to give away another dragon fruit cutting. So we got 2 dragon fruit cuttings. Thank you so much for all those new subscribers that came out and all those solid subscribers right now. I really appreciate everybody out there. You guys are doing a fantastic job. All of the flowers I see on the Facebook group pages and all the flowers that I see out when I'm walking around my neighborhood. There's so much going on in Southern California. It's such a beautiful place to hang out and enjoy life. All right, so I'm gonna go over to one of the giveaways and announce one. And I think so. I'm gonna go over to, I don't remember which video was what. So this one right here, the full backyard dragon fruit tour, that one's going to be, I think, in 3 weeks. And what I'm gonna do is root out the cutting. I'm probably speaking too loud. And then this video right here, oh, there's the possum again. This video right here, the nocturnal matchmaker, I'm working on that 9-part series. And what I'm going to do is every week try to release a video about Paul Thompson and the history of Paul Thompson. And I'll make a playlist, and then I'll piece everything together and then actually talk all the way through it. Because right now there's just words that people can read and understand and appreciate Paul Thompson. And I think, let's see, this Flora Nova bloom, I'm going to give the Flora Nova bloom away. And that was 9 days ago. So I think I'll do that one soon as well. So stay tuned for that. Oh, here we go. Free dragon fruit 12 days ago. So let me look through the comments section. All right. So I'm pulling up the comments section. And the first person, let's see, is this organized? Yeah. So we have Techno Rapper, Slice of Liz. Oh man, Slice of Liz, she's so wonderful. She's always got that positivity. She gives me feedback on my videos sometimes, which I really appreciate, by the way. And then there's Kim. She's been so active on the Facebook group and um, the private Facebook group. And Kim is amazing. I love all the stuff she's doing as well. She's doing amazing for all those dragon fruit. I don't know how long she's been growing dragon fruit, but I'm really impressed with Kim as well. And then Mallory Fletcher, she's a local Southern I think she's Southern California. She won one of the cuttings. And then we have Jeff, some JM Murillo. So maybe John Murillo. He said multi-grass, very interesting. Definitely taking notes. So this video was the grape escape video. And we're going to go ahead and announce the grape escape. So I wish you guys a lot of luck to see who's going to win. And basically what we're going to do is do a random, I have like all the names pulled up into my phone, and I'll do a random giveaway. So this is a cutting giveaway, and I'll ship it out on Monday for you guys. Cool. And Andrew made a comment there too. So I think everybody's in here. Terrell Woods commented. Trying to think, is anybody else in the live stream that hasn't commented on this video yet? What I'm going to do is just, if you're in the live stream, I'm going to add you into this giveaway as well. So I'm going to pull up the random giveaway generator, and then let me just add the name, and then we'll give it away. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. I did want to mention, if you don't know about Nola Dragon Fruit, go check out his YouTube channel, because this guy is just nailing it. I mean, the way he grows dragon fruit is stunning. And he's got the hookup. You can see all those plants right there. And if you're local to him, he also sells dragon fruit cuttings. I don't sell dragon fruit cuttings. So, I mean, I sell them, but I just sell those micro cuttings. But if you want like big plants, you can watch his channel. Okay, so let me pull up the generator here. All right, it's going. All right, so oh, that's so cool. Liz, you won. So, Slice of Liz, I don't think you're here. It's Friday night. I hope you're having a fantastic night, and maybe you're watching the live stream. But don't worry, I'll send you a personal message. Congratulations for winning the Grape Escape. So, that's that giveaway. So, you won Grape Escape. And it's funny because this variety, Grape Escape, is Assunta 6 D2. And we don't know too much about the variety. You would have to bug Richard Lee and ask him some questions about, hey, what's going on with Grape Escape? Like, tell us more about this variety. They're evaluating the variety. That's the trellis that they have. And Grape Escape has another name. It's D2. So there's D1 and D2. And Grape Escape is D2. And then Custard Cloud is D1. So congratulations, Liz. All right. Should we do the other giveaway as well? Let's see. Congrats, Liz. Love it. Sweet. Glad I was able to make it to the live stream today. Heck yeah. You're here to get the gear, right? All right. What's up? Nice flowers. Yeah, I got some nice flowers. We're going to pollinate them tonight, and then we're going to collect the pollen, store the pollen. We usually store our pollen 12 hours and then put it in the refrigerator in a vacuum sealed container. I do have two different time lapses going on right here for the dragon fruit flowers tonight. And these are all Paul Thompson varieties of dragon fruit that we're pollinating. Yeah, congratulations. And so Grape Escape, I have that variety. And what I did is I grafted it. And now I don't need the cutting. So I thought, what a fantastic idea just to go ahead and give it away to somebody. And so other people can grow it too. And we can learn about how this variety grows in different climates. I would love to be able to ship dragon fruit to all the different climates in the United States, including like up there in New York as well, because dragon fruit's getting more popular as far as growing it in conditions other than Southern California or Florida. And they're starting to realize that it's possible. Cool. All right. I am going to go inside for a moment, grab some water. And then if you guys want, I'll take a 5 minute or 10-minute break and I'll come back. If you guys just want to have it on the background, the YouTube on the background, that would really help out my watch time hours. You don't have to. If you're going to have a wonderful night, that's fine. I hope you have a blessed night, and I'll see you guys in another video later on. So, yeah, a lot more people are getting into the hobby. Have you noticed that? Like, for me, once dragon fruit started to get the hybridization going on, and they're doing it everywhere too. Like they're doing it in Africa and New Zealand. They're hybridizing dragon fruit, so it's definitely worldwide. It's not just like Asia and the United States. It's pretty cool. Anyways, so I will be back, and then you'll hear my voice when I come back because I'll start talking again, and I'll go get the supplies for the for collecting the pollen. I'm going to bring out the vacuum. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to give away one of those vacuums. So after I'm done pollinating, I'll give away a vacuum. You don't have to stay here all night. That's fine. But I will give away one of those small vacuums. I want you guys to have one of those. So feel free to make comments in the video. It's just going to be like a random giveaway. Just make a comment if you're here and I'll do the giveaway and I'll announce it tomorrow and then I'll ship it to you. I'll just order on Amazon and it'll just like ship to your door so you guys can have a vacuum. Let's see. All right, I'll come back. Feel free to talk amongst each other too. I would love for you guys to talk to each other about dragon fruit. I love the interaction. I know we're not live in person, but I think that would be so cool to learn from each other and see what's going on. You know, obviously, I would love for you guys to comment on my videos and stuff. But to be honest, more importantly, I do want to see you guys interacting and stuff. It would be so cool. And it helps me out a bunch, not for my videos, but because I get to learn from you guys. So I'm not perfect. I'm still learning how to grow dragon fruit myself. All right. I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. All right, I'm back. Okay, just got some water, had a snack, and now I'm back. So I noticed that we're like talking about the trellises and stuff, and I do have a thought about those trellises. One thing I learned from Gary from Laguna Hills Nursery, who has sells the top pot soil that's so fantastic for dragon fruit, is that say like you build a small trellis, that small trellis system will only last you so many years, right? So the more you take care of it, the more it will last. But you can build those small trellises, and then when the trellis starts to degrade and stuff, you just build another one. And at first you might think, oh, that's a lot of work, right? But this is a common thing to do when you're growing figs too. So what happens with figs is they only produce figs on like year 1, 2, and maybe 3, the new wood. So the fruit doesn't grow on those really thick trellis systems. And the unique thing about dragon fruit is that it's somewhat similar to figs in the sense that once the branches like mature on dragon fruit, it will flower. So you can take a very mature cutting and then basically replace the trellis. And that's kind of my thought process. 10 years down the road, or maybe it be 5 years down the road, it will be quite easy to rebuild another trellis. Instead of saying like, oh, this trellis is not going to work, that thing's going to collapse. And you're right, it is going to collapse. And so you got to think about the future and how you're going to manage that trellis, right? I think the major overriding issue with trellises and people getting into dragon fruit for the first time is they don't build the right trellis up front, and then they wait for the dragon fruit to get lignified. They don't train the dragon fruit to grow up really tall, and then it sags and out of sight, out of mind. They forget about it. And then, I've been growing dragon fruit for 5 years. I've never gotten a fruit. And that's pretty much why most of the time. All right, we can do another giveaway. Yeah, I made one out of PVC. Yeah, I didn't like it and changed it to Anchor for more 3/4 PVC back into the pot for more support. That's a great idea. Yeah, the more support you can get on a trellis, the better. I did do a video over with Cal Poly Pomona where I shot their dragon fruit farm, and you can see that trellis system is dilapidated, and like, I don't know, maybe 25% of the trellis systems that are there, they're now collapsed, and it doesn't look nice, but it's a really great example of, if you look at my previous video, I don't know what the title is, but basically you can see how the trellis system didn't hold up. And the same thing happens to all the farms. I think Ox Dragon Fruit Farm actually has a really beautiful setup and the way he's doing it. And then Oceanside Dragon Fruit Farm does as well. It's reinforced with those T posts, but even they have problems with keeping all of that plant material hanging on those trellises. And eventually it will take it down. So it's crazy how dragon fruit can grow on trees. Try taking a tree down. That's like the ultimate thing. Like, if there's an earthquake or whatever, you're going to see buildings collapse, but you won't see trees falling in an earthquake. So dragon fruit has been able to be growing on trees for such a long time, and they really latch on. It's really cool. On the smaller setup, it should be easier to switch out the trellis if you start to fall apart and you don't like it. Yeah, exactly. And I haven't really thought about it too much, but I do think about that with my fig trees that are in pots. It's like, well, if something happens to the fig tree, then I can just switch it out. And I didn't come up with that idea. I actually learned it from Gary when I watch his live stream videos on the weekends, Laguna Hills Nursery. So he's a master gardener and doesn't need to have a certificate to prove it. And his daughter is amazing too. Like she's totally into mangoes. There's all these multi-grafted mango trees over in Laguna Hills Nursery, which is actually in Santa Ana. It's not in Laguna Hills. It used to be in Laguna Hills. Oceanside has a nice setup, but he pushes those stakes into the ground for more support. But like you said, even those will eventually fail as well. Yeah, they do. Um, Wallace Ranch. I went there last year, I believe, or maybe it was. Yeah, I think I went there last year, and I went to Wallace Ranch back in like I don't know 2016 for one of the dragon fruit festivals when the University of Irvine Research Extension Center was doing those dragon fruit festivals. Which, by the way, that would be awesome if we can get another dragon fruit festival going. So Nina, she has the farm and it's like it's humongous. I mean, the facility is absolutely beautiful. If you ever get a chance to pick up, oh, that's a pro tip by the way. If you're gonna buy dragon fruit, you're here in Southern California, go to the Shopify account that Wallace Ranch has set up and scroll down and look for the she categorizes the dragon fruit differently. Like she'll categorize fruit that looks nice. So if like you're a chef and you want to present it, the skin and everything, but then they have like throwaway fruit, which she even told me it's better to buy that fruit because it tastes better sometimes because there's cracks in the fruit. But because there's such high standards to sell fruit, they're not making the money off of the fruit. They're making the money off of the cuttings. So I would definitely recommend buying the 20 pounds. I think it's like 150 bucks, I want to say, for 20 pounds of dragon fruit. And they're all really good. And then you get like, I wouldn't buy it early in the season. I would buy it later in the season because early in the season, the fruit just doesn't taste that great. And then I think she mentioned today that the American Beauty, she's still trying to taste test, like it's still ripening up. But I think she was mentioning they had physical graffiti and Robles Red. And personally, I'm not a big fan of Robles Red. And when you buy the fruit, you can't necessarily pick and choose which fruit you want. Unfortunately, it would just be too much logistics for them to manage buying every individual variety of fruit. And that's kind of something that I really like about some other farms, but that's hard to come across is where you can buy the very specific variety of fruit. So anyways, her dragon fruit trellis system is absolutely amazing. It's super cool. You love watching Gary's videos? Yeah. Yeah, I like watching his videos too. He does his own thing, you know. Have you ever been to Gary to watch any of his videos in person? I would really like to do that is go out there one day and maybe next year I can try to get in touch with them and see what the schedule is for the dragon fruit one cuz that would be cool. I know Gary has his own variety of dragon fruit as well. Okay, I did want to point out something really cool. So, you see where's my let's see. Okay, you see this right here? I do want to do like a giveaway sometime of this monitor, and you can get one on Amazon if you want to pick it up, and you can check the humidity level of, and not only the humidity, but also the temperature. And then you can attach that to your phone and this thing is super cool because it will tell you the temperature on a chart. And then you can monitor the temperature of your dragon fruit trellis, like basically right outside. So you're going to get the temperature of the outside air, but everybody lives in a microclimate. You know, I don't care where you're living, the temperature, the wind, all those small little factors take a, you know, you take a big consideration into how your dragon fruit is growing. Is it necessary? No, it's not necessary, but it's a cool thing to do. Yeah, let me know if you're going to go to see Gary's live and you just go to the nursery, and then I can meet up with you if you want. We can check out the nursery and then hang out, talk about dragon fruit, or that would be cool. I'd love to meet you guys in person. Yeah, you can get one of those for the winter. Oh, that's a good point, Simon. Simon, you really hit the nail on it on that one. I never realized so much like monitoring for zone 7 or any of the other, climates that are not optimal for growing dragon fruit. So you can really gauge um, an isolated environment. For sure. That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love that. My back patio is definitely microclimate to all the plants that I have. Is it really? That's wonderful to hear. When I first moved to our property, what I did in the backyard was I went really heavy on building the foundation of the garden, and it was all grass in the backyard. So what I did is I brewed up a whole bunch of tea, and I dumped the tea all over the garden. And grass likes to grow on like more bacterial dominated environment, where trees like fig trees like a fungal dominated soil, and they both like both mixes. The diversity is really important, but I just made tea like every week, and I poured it all over the garden, on the corner of the lot, like in the back corner of the lot as well. And then what I noticed is last year, or like 2 years ago, um, it really took off my neighbor's trees, and all my neighbor's trees just started thriving. And it was crazy because I started getting blackberries coming over the fence from my neighbor's yard. And we had like plumerias, not plumerias. Oh, what's that vining plant that's really beautiful, and it's in Mexico a lot? I can't think of it right now. But all the plants grew like amazing. Like my neighbor has an avocado tree, and then there's I think a jujube trees, and my neighbor has a really beautiful backyard as well. We often go over there and eat a whole bunch of Mexican food and drink and have fun, and I love my neighbors. They're freaking awesome. Yeah, passion fruit, like green tea, or what kind of tea? Oh, like a, if you look up Boogie Brew tea, um, this crazy guy that's like into super passionate about making teas for bacteria. So what you can do to extend your fertilizer is you can brew it, and basically what you're doing is stimulating the bacterial growth. And Gary is actually pretty against this, because what can happen is you can grow good bacteria and bad bacteria. So it's to be used sparingly and cautiously as well. Another thing I did was I spilled a whole bunch of biochar all over the yard as well, because it's like a one time application. The thing about biochar is that it has so many micropores inside, as you guys probably already know, that it can hold a whole bunch of bacteria. And those bacteria have these little, yeah, compost tea. Sorry. Yeah, you got me covered there. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I made a whole bunch of compost tea. Um, and that was a lot of fun, actually, because it was really the start of the property for me, and laying out that foundation. I always wanted to do that before we got this property. Yeah, Gary doesn't like compost tea. I think what the thing is like Gary recognizes that the soil biology is already super diverse. And so, oh, there's another possum. So basically, this every soil has all of the bacteria and nutrients that it needs. What it's missing is the ability to unlock all those nutrients. And that's my take on it is like, yeah, the soil has those nutrients, but if you want to jumpstart something, go for it. The problem that he cautions about is that it can become anaerobic. And so when you apply the tea, you have to have a strict program of maintaining a watering cycle on your backyard. So you have to add a lot of water because water has a lot of oxygen in it. And so it's important that you apply the tea and then you're using consistent watering. So the microorganisms basically don't die, but then they don't also get starved from oxygen because bacteria needs oxygen to thrive as well. Anyways, I've gone down the rabbit hole of making compost tea a few times. I don't fully understand it. There's definitely other YouTubers out there like they get into the soil biology. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Somebody who's really into that. I don't know if you know her, Elaine Ingram, and she recently passed away, but she wrote a few books about it and ran programs on making compost and the right way to do compost, to do it the absolute best way, and using soil science as her foundational method. And a lot of people got into it. And that's kind of like one of the things in the future I'd like to talk about is soil biology. Um, I'm not a farmer. I didn't grow up farming. So I don't know a lot about it. But if you talk to any farmer, they really know a ton about soil biology. When we went to the durian farm in Belviz in the Philippines, in the Mindanao, where they had the earthquake, we sat down and for about an hour and I talked to the owner of Belviz farm and they have durian. That's the one video you saw where it's like 130-foot durian tree that is believed to be 150 years old. And they make their own varieties of durian as well. So I do have that video that I'm going to release. Just always making new videos and stuff. And I get inspired just being out in the garden. So I'm pretty spontaneous with my videos. But I do have some more dragon fruit farm videos to release from the Philippines as well. Yeah, it take a good schedule routine to make sure everything stays balanced. Yeah, we're kind of lucky because we had the irrigation system set up here, so it was already doing really good. It was pretty easy to change the timers and stuff like that. What Gary also mentioned is that the mycorrhizal knot bacteria that forms a synthesis relationship with the plants and helps the plants receive all the nutrients they need. Ah, yeah. So like that's the big aha idea behind the mycorrhizal fungal network is that you have a root zone. So you have like dragon fruit has pretty shallow roots, but this is why it's hard for me to understand and evaluate um, hybrids of dragon fruit to see if they have strong root zones because the fungal network can build, a random number 10 times the amount of fungal network to supply those roots. So even though you have a small root system, small root mass, you could still make it up by having good fungal dominated soil. The problem is that we're using silica based soils and sand and decomposed granite. So those are like things that don't break down. Sure, you can get minerals from the what is it, the rocks and stuff. Like the sand can have minerals in it, but it's basically glass. And so there's no nutrients that can be unlocked. And I think that's why when Richard made his video about the soil and he brought Alan onto the channel to talk about the soil, they ended up using, what did they end up using? It was decomposed granite instead of sand. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Gary mentioned that. Yeah, it's not the bacteria. There are the cool thing about the bacteria is they actually go to the terminal ends of plants and they live there in those terminal ends, and then they do some type of symbiotic relationship with the plant. And so the bacteria can travel inside the plant from the soil up into the terminal branches or the terminal ends where you have the thorns and the flower where the buds come out and the branches come out. So it does have a role in it, but you're absolutely right. It's primarily the fungal network that is making the biggest difference for your dragon fruits. I like using DG as well. Yeah, I love using DG. If you can get close to a quarry, like a rock quarry, or some companies that sell, different types of material like granite, and then they sell like slates of granite for countertops and stuff. They also sell stuff for like gardens too. But if you can go there, you can get it for really cheap. I do know that it's like a cost benefit for some people. So I feel like it was a good idea to mention sand as a perfect medium for growing dragon fruit. But I like to think in terms of good, better, best. So like good is, you're using sand, or maybe you're using a mixture of sand with, um, we used to use a whole bunch of peat moss, right? So that we've really steered away from that. So maybe that's a good way to grow. And then the better way to grow is like more sand and some of those other well draining products. And then the best way is probably decomposed granite. Oh yeah, rock dust and kelp meal. Oh yeah, kelp meal. I forgot about kelp meal. Yeah, there's one in Santa Ana that you can go to, and that's where I got my decomposed granite from. It was so funny because we have a small electric vehicle and somewhat like a hatchback, and I filled up the whole back of it, and it was such a mess to get it in the backyard to build the trellises, but it was also fun. I did shoot a video about that, but I never released it. Yeah, soil amendments. Yeah, but like you said, those trace micronutrients and minerals. I don't know if you know John Kohler from growingyourgreens.com. Yeah, I'm live right now. I've been live for 85 minutes. That's crazy. Yeah, if you know John Kohler from growingyourgreens.com, or is that what his YouTube is? He has like 3 or 4 YouTube channels. And I remember a long time ago, he was at uh the expo, the National Heirloom Expo that is I think it was out towards like Ventura or something like that. And I went and met John Kohler, and he was like my idol, man. I binge watched so many of his videos back in the day. Watching from work. Nice. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And if you're commenting on the videos tonight, I am giving away one of those vacuums to pollinate your guys' dragon fruits. So, and I'll ship it out tomorrow. I'll announce the winner in a post. What do you think about that? Giving away the small vacuum. Oh, check this out. Tomorrow, There's a really cool farmer, and I'm going to a farm tomorrow. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope they let me record it. Um, so tomorrow there's a farm and he's having an event. I forget his name, but a super cool guy. Yeah, the vacuum giveaway is great. Cool. Heck yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of different products that are just in our office that I'm storing. Like I have honey, I have some other fertilizers, and I forget what other stuff we have that we're going to give away this year. But there's another farm in San Diego County that we're going to go to tomorrow. And I'm hoping we can do a live stream there. And um, the gentleman, I think he's he has like an education at UC Davis. And he's a farmer, and it looks like a new farm. And he does sell dragon fruit on his website. You can pre order it. And I think he charges like $8 a pound or something like that. But yeah, I'm super excited to go to that farm. Um, he seems like a wonderful person. I checked out his Facebook a little bit, and there was like a really cool article that was on his Facebook page that I'd love to share with you guys in the future. What's the website? Let me pull it up. Okay, the website is okay. Yeah, San Diego, UC Davis, and then he went to Cornell University as well. I have a friend that went to Cornell University. That's a really good school. Okay, so let me pull up the messages. Okay, so the name of it is Fortule. This one right here. Here, I'll pull it up so you can see it. FORTULE.com. Fortule. Here we go. This one. Organic tropical fruits and nursery. So just type that in your browser or whatever. But I'll pull it up here so you guys can see. Sugar baby. I don't know if that's like sugar dragon or if there's an actual variety named sugar baby. And you can sign up to his email list too. Organic fruits. So contact. Yeah, you can send him a contact. Tell him the gardening channel with hot potato sent you. Organic fruits. Okay, let's go to about us. Let's learn a little bit about him here. So it says it's a certified organic farm spanning more than 60 acres in Escondido, California. It's a local family owned operation, and they specialize in growing premium exotic tropical fruits using sustainable farming practices. The farm is home to more than 8,000 dragon fruit plants. Can you believe that? But I'll let you guys read that. I like this one right here, the fruit. You can order the 20-pound box for 175, and it's local pickup only. So you get to go there and check out the location and everything too. It looks pretty legit to me. And that's the dragon fruit right there. And then there's also the mix box too. I don't know if you can tell which varieties those are. I wouldn't be surprised if he had some of the Asunta series. Yeah. I wonder if they do tours. Yeah, so that was the thing. I think tomorrow he has, oh yeah, look at this. Beautiful. And then there's the classic Guatemalensis variety of dragon fruit that we all love. Thank you, Paul Thompson. It's interesting how they're like marketing it. They're not mentioning the variety of dragon fruit, but they just say it's a mixed ice pink, pink, magenta, and red flesh color. And then red, orange, pink, green. So they talk about the colors. Yeah, beautiful fruits, right? I don't know how this skipped my radar. It must be relatively new. All right, I'm looking at the temperature. It's dropping down. Humidity levels rising over by the grape escape and custard cloud cutting. Does variety matter to you? That's a good question. More so than I would like. Okay, we can do the custard cloud giveaway. And then I'll announce a winner for the other one. So, do we give away grape escape or custard cloud? I forgot. Let's see. Yeah, I think we gave away custard cloud is the next one. So this is the custard cloud video, I believe. So all those people that commented on this variety or this dragon fruit, yeah, there's the custard cloud. Actually, somebody asked me to make a video, and so that's why the title is "This One Is for You" because asked for more videos on grafting. So then I went ham on making a whole bunch of varieties about grafting. So here's the giveaway, Custard Cloud giveaway. Thank you so much for amazing support and celebrating this video. I'm giving away Custard Cloud. So Eddie commented, let's go. With a name like Custard Cloud, it's going to be really good. No kidding. Andrew commented, said, this is awesome. I'm going to be grafting next year when I have more of an umbrella on my plants. Yeah, Andrew has a lot of really cool varieties that he got from all different types of dragon fruit farmers out there. I thought that was really cool how he's collecting from multiple sources. And then Colin is saying, super hopeful to be able to surprise my wife with a winning that cutting. She grows an amazing red dragon fruit. I don't know what variety that is, but it's big, sweet fruit. Nice. And then that's the grafting tool if you want to pick that up. Techno Rapper saying such a cool variety, custard cloud. Yeah. Oh, he still wants to try wildberry Skittles though. So maybe I'll have to do another Wildberry Skittles giveaway. Feel free to comment, what you guys want. That's kind of why I did one of those live. I did that giveaway for the you guys get to choose whatever you want variety, because I feel like that would be better. So whatever variety the person wins, then they can just, fulfill whatever variety I have, or maybe I'll buy a variety from somebody and then give that one away too. Okay, so I'm going to pick a winner here. Let me enter in you guys that are on the live stream again. Oh, if you ever see this, please do me a favor. I know you guys will, so I'm pretty confident you guys like watching the gardening channel with Hot Potato, but that would really help out too. Okay, give me a second here. All right, we got a winner. Oh my God, I can't believe he won. Oh, this is so nice, Mr. Night Gardener. Yeah, thank you so much. I miss you. So I can't believe this, but Andrew Mobley just won, and we were just talking about him. And so Andrew made a comment. So I did the random giveaway generator, and it says, what did he say? He said, "This is awesome. I'm going to be grafting next year when I have more of an umbrella on my plants." And that's exactly right. That's how you grow dragon fruits. And, that's a basic knowledge that it's awesome to see people commenting on the video and spreading the good information out there about growing dragon fruit. So congratulations, Andrew. You must be sleeping by now because I know you're not on the West Coast. But I'll send you a message, and I can't wait for you to get that umbrella going on all of your dragon fruit plants, because I think you got like 30 varieties or something like that. Cool. And I will give away the vacuum. Right now, I'm going to pollinate these dragon fruit flowers, and then we'll call it a night. So this is the vacuum I'm going to give away. Nice keyboard vacuum. Some pollen on there. What I'm doing now is basically taking out all the pollen and putting it in the container so it doesn't fall out. I just used one of these cups. And what I like to do is utilize these incandescent packets and prep it so the cup has very little moisture in it because the incandescent packets are stored in there. So there's the pollen. And I'll put this in a metal bowl and let it dry out overnight. And then I'll vacuum seal it in the morning. Soft light falls on quiet sand. You almost leaned in. Also have this tool right here I use to pollinate. And it's pretty cool.
Do you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now?
Yeah, I do. Let's go.
It's been lonely. Gotta make ends meet. Going nowhere fast now. So tired of the same routine. No use in walking the line, let's the shark is away. That fire's calling our name, and we ain't leaving till it's dark. We about to get our minds right. Yeah, we can keep it going all night. Yeah, we gonna drink until it's dry. Low lights settling in, the room is picking up. Feels like stepping in, shake the day right out. So go on and hit me again. This night isn't dark, we're finally letting loose. We're pouring out the good times, and we ain't quit until it's right. So right, we're about to get our minds right. It's like, yeah, we can keep it going all night. Man, look at those things. They look so cool. Come on now. All right, we're done pollinating. Damn, what a late night. We tap on. Put the cap on. The way my head is feeling out. Don't know my right from my wrong. Maybe we say hello tonight. Slow down for a little. That bottle ain't gonna drink it. We can label them too. Let's go it down until it's dry. We're about to get our minds right. So nice, alright. We can keep it going all night. Yeah, we're gonna take things to the sky. Over right now. Just drinking till it's gone. So you can label your dragon fruits, but then you can also label them right on the fruit too. So you can just label it like that. Once they get bigger. And if you're wondering what type of blooming fertilizer that I used this year, this is another one that I used. So this is a Flower Fuel Premium Bloom Booster 3432. Definitely not organic. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's I'll show you the two cuttings and I'll ship those out on Monday. But thank you so much for watching the gardening channel with Hot Potato. Here's what Grape Escape looks like. So this is one of the cuttings that we gave away tonight is a Grape Escape. And that's what the plant material looks like. If you're interested in getting Grape Escape, then once I grow this out and I have more cuttings,
we'll do more giveaways. So that's Grape Escape. And then this one is Custard Cloud, which is definitely an advanced way of naming your varieties. So there's Custard Cloud, and it even comes pre-rooted. So we soak these in water, and we'll ship this one out on Monday. So congratulations, Andrew. And I forget was the first person who won these 2 cuttings. And last but not least, this is going to be the giveaway for this video. And it's the portable vacuum cleaner, the mini suction strong. And this one's not too strong. I really like this one. There's other ones out there. I even saw one at Costco the other day. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the gardening channel with Hot Potato, this live stream. It's been super fun, especially tonight, talking to each and every one of you. And your comments mean a lot to me because I feel like that community vibe is really established. And I would love to meet each and every one of you. Until next time, I hope you have a blessed night. You guys take care of your health because health is wealth. And I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, guys.